Today we will be unboxing a Shuttle XPC, that is just to say one of their small form factor PCs. So Shuttle's been making a name for themselves for many years, making systems, custom systems, even Barebones systems, whether it's complete, comes with all the stuff, or not complete, doesn't come with all the stuff. They are building small boxes, small motherboards, and small power supplies, non-standard, smaller than you can build on your own, and that is their advantage. So they are able to provide these custom solutions that you can then add whatever you want to, and you can have a pretty neat little system out of it. So this particular one right here is the SH67H3. Based on the name, we can surmise that it uses the H67 chipset, which means that you have full support for all the latest Intel Core i3, Core i5, and Core i7 processors on the LGA 1155 platform. That's what it says here. H67 Express chipset supports up to 95 watt CPUs, which is the maximum, I believe, available on that platform. Dual channel DDR3 up to 1333 megahertz is supported, up to 16 gigs. HDMI and DVI are both supported. Remember, the H67 has onboard video, but does not support the unlocked overclocking feature of the K-series processors. So watch out for that. If you're planning on overclocking, this solution probably isn't for you. It's more for low power consumption, low footprint, small footprint type systems. All right, one PCIe 16X slot, so you can build a pretty decent gaming machine in this. Support for USB 3 and SATA 3 6 gigabit per second, as well as 7.1 high definition audio. Expansion capabilities: two 3.5-inch hard drive bays, one 5.25-inch bay, 80 plus 300 watt power supply, so that's going to be enough for pretty much whatever you'd want to add to it. Remember, this is a smaller motherboard. There's not a lot of room for expansion. A 300 watt power supply is going to easily deal with that CPU, and then pretty decent peripheral, or pretty decent components in terms of RAM and expansion cards, as well as a decent video card. So let's just take it out of the box here and have a look at what there is to see. I don't think I've ever unboxed a Shuttle on my channel before, although I've been following their products for a long time, and I do find them quite interesting, although I've never had cause to build one for myself. I have been tempted many times just because they're cool little things, and it was fascinating to me, especially when they launched their X58 XPC, that you could put such a ridiculous amount of power in such a small package. Alright, so here we are. Here's the SH67, and you know what? You're probably going to have to give me a minute here, although hold on, give me a sec, I might be able to figure this out relatively quickly, because I do want to take off the, actually no, give me a second. Got gloves. The reason for that, this brushed aluminum finish, I love this finish, but I also hate it because it looks fantastic, but it is a fingerprint magnet and it's almost impossible to remove fingerprints from it. So I'd rather just not get any on it in the first place. So I've taken off the cover. You can see there are vents in the side. It's got a very nice overall finish to it. It seems to be made of aluminum, so yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. All right. Actually, let's have a quick look at the front of the case. So we've got eSATA USB combo port, two USB 3.0 ports, a microphone port, headphone port, as well as a reset switch. There's also, you gotta be kidding me, where's the power switch? I'm sure it's somewhere. Now hold on it just a minute. Okay, give me a sec. Oh, power switch is over here. It was hiding from me. A little silver button up here. Okay, we found it. It's all good. All right, in here we have some do not eat. Don't eat it. Okay, here's our 5.25-inch expansion bay. Here's our two 3.5-inch bays, so you can put a pretty decent amount of storage in here, even though it's a tiny little case. Here are all the power supply cables, which I will show you in a minute. Here we go. So what do we got? Oh, look at that. They've custom wired in the Sata cables already. So the Sata cables are included, 2 Sata cables. And then you can see they've actually run them up here to the top corner. So what that means is you'll be able to easily plug these into the back of any devices here. Now those are the Sata, oh, you can't see what kind of Sata they are. But here are a couple more Sata ports, should you so desire them. We've also got, oh, there's some pretty interesting stuff in here. So look, here's a little laptop-style PCIe 1X slot. So you could use that for a wireless card, for example, if you wanted to run wireless on your XPC machine. Okay, here I want to move these out. Oh yeah, no, there's your 4 DDR3 slots supporting up to 16 gigs of dual channel DDR3. You can see the 24-pin power connector has been wired in at the very other side there. And here are all of our front panel connectors are all already wired in. So basically what a Barebones does is it allows people who aren't necessarily comfortable building their own system from scratch to skip all of the difficult stuff. Motherboard mounting, power supply connections, front panel connections, and all you gotta do is plug in your RAM, plug in your CPU, plug in your graphics card and your drives, and you're ready to go. All right, speaking of the CPU, you can see that there is a custom cooler on it. So you've got some fins on the top. Okay, oh, it says, warning, do not use a CPU with power consumption level over 95 watts because that's what this cooler is validated for. Okay, you're going to want to remove these 4 screws, and you can access those by removing these screws and pulling out the drive mounting. Okay, and then the way that it's actually cooled is by heat pipes, and the whole system is cooled by two fans. So there's a 192 millimeter fan here that's a nice thick fan, good static pressure, and then that's running off of a radiator style cooler here in the back, so that's your exhaust fan. And then your power supply, this is an 80 plus bronze 300 watt power supply, also has a fan. So that's 2 fans for the entire system, 3 if you put in a high-end graphics card. So let's have a look at what we've got for PCIe power connector. So we have a single PCIe 6-pin, so that means that you're probably going to be limited to something along the lines of a GTX 550 Ti, although there's no reason the 300 watt power supply couldn't support a 560 Ti, as long as space permits. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a graphics card here and see what all we can actually fit. Here, I probably won't need long for this. Nope, give me 2 seconds. So here's one of these. Here's one of these. What is this? No, that's a 550. Okay, oh, here's a 460 Twin Frozer 2. So this is a pretty long card. Let's see if this will fit. This is a touch longer than a regular GTX 560. But yeah, you can see that'll fit with no difficulty. So the power connectors here at the back are definitely going to have enough room to be reached. So if you use Molex adapters, you can easily run that off of this power supply. You have 3 SATA power connectors, so that supports your, 4 rather, supports your full complement of drives, 1 floppy connector, and then you're gonna use both of those Molex connectors if you wanted to run a dual PCIe 6-pin graphics card like this one. If you run a single slot graphics card, you do have an additional PCIe 1X slot inside, so that would be for like a wireless card or a TV tuner card or whatever the case may be. There you go, total of 2 PCI expansion slots at the back, so that is a little bit more than ITX. Okay, oh yeah, the back. Okay, so here, we've got DVI and HDMI out, 2 USB 3.0 ports, so that makes a total of 4. 4 USB 2.0 ports, eSATA, gigabit LAN, and 7.1 audio out. There's no microphone port here. Remember, this is fully custom motherboard, so it's designed to work exactly how they intend for it to work, so your microphone port is here. Also, at the back, we have optical audio out, which I almost didn't see there. Moving over to the other side, you can see how the power supply specs pan out. We've got dual 12-volt rails rated to up to 16 amps each. This is, looks like FSP is the OEM for this, so it's probably going to be reliable and awesome in every way. All right, 80 plus bronze, active PFC, ball bearing fan, so it should be, yeah. These are all good things for reliability as well as low noise and low power consumption. Here is the heatsink for the PWM, as well as the 4-pin CPU power connector located in its ideal location exactly wherever Shuttle decides it goes, because really I can't speculate on what the ideal location is in this case. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for checking out my unboxing of the, oh I forget now, SH67H3. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos.
Bam.
And I forgot to show you guys the quick guide, as well as the mounting screws, cable ties, thermal compound, CPU socket cover, and driver DVD that is included with this Barebones.